Now I live in Dubai. Tomorrow I might live in Moscow. The week after that I might live in Brazil again. My life is kind of crazy, but I live all over the place. Dubai is what the US used to be back in the 80s, you know? Everyone's immigrating to Dubai. Why? Dude, I paid Iman Gadzhi $18,000 for one fucking call. I got nothing out of it. People are super happy paying $500 on a night out to forget about their problems instead of spending $500 to get rid of them for life. This life is fucking rented. You have to accept that and submit to life and let things fucking flow. What will be yours will always be yours.
And another thing which is, very famous online, like this is coming from Andrew Tate, like escape the matrix. Yeah. Like, have you escaped the matrix, do you think?
Yeah. It's about getting information that not everyone gets access to. You know, that's the biggest thing. When you understand that money's energy, then it becomes limitless and you can actually reach it whenever, however, and whenever you want. You can't sell high ticket if you can't pay high ticket. Don't come to me saying you want to charge 3, 5, 10, 15K and you can't even fucking put 3 or 5K down. Doesn't make any sense. Everyone wants to be with you when you're stable, when you have your shit together. But no one has seen the scars and the shit that you've had to go through to become that person. But they're hoping and praying that this course is going to change their fucking life. People want hope. A man that calls himself a masculine man is not a masculine man. Because hurt people hurt people.
That's nice. Hurt people.
You must endure because God will give you what He's promised you when you're ready for it. You know, it's about God's timing, not your timing. So the rich keep getting richer because yes, they know each other. They don't necessarily have an intimate, deep relationship with each other. They have a very surface level.
Hey guys, so this is my third podcast and with me, my first online mentor, Mr. Giuliano Gonzalez is here. I fondly call him Jules. So he has been living in Dubai for the last, 2 years?
No, for the last year actually.
Okay, so last more than 1 year, I guess.
No, technically speaking, actually like 10 months.
10 months. And he regularly networks with the 1% of the crowd here. He drinks coffee with the millionaires. And, he is like the go-to man in Dubai. Like if any top celebrity, top people want to connect with each other, they contact Jules and he's like the main
plug.
guy. Yeah.
Plug, yeah.
And he has also organized the DXB Network. And how many sessions have you organized of that?
Probably like 10 events that we've done in that.
Yeah. And you have yourself said in a podcast, a lot of people know you, but you may not know a lot of people.
Yeah, like a lot of people see me and they're like, oh, I've been following you for a while. We spoke on the other day. And I'm like, I have no fucking idea. I get like 100 DMs a day. But it's good. It's a nice feeling to have a little bit of credibility in a city. I think it's paramount. Whenever, even if you have a local business or a digital business, I always like to build something where people come to me and I don't have to go to them because it creates leverage. And from leverage, then you can create more opportunities that will expand at a much quicker rate.
So today we will be learning the backstory of Jules, like how to network with any people you want, even if you don't have money. So a lot of, times we have this mental blockage, right? Hey, that I'm not rich, whether the rich guy will entertain me or not, So first of all, Jules, like I know about your story. If you can describe about backstory, like your childhood and where do you grow up and, how do you came here, like everything.
Yeah, I was born in Chile in South America. I spoke Spanish. I moved and immigrated to Australia when I was 13, turning 14. I lived in Australia since I was 14 all the way to 26. And between 27 and 29, I've been traveling all over South America, Europe, Dubai. Now I live in Dubai. Tomorrow I might live in Moscow. The week after that I might live in Brazil again. My life is kind of crazy, but I live all over the place. I've had every type of job that you can possibly imagine. I left my house when I was 18. I actually left my house the first time when I was 16. So since a very young age, I've always wanted to, and I have been very used to and felt very comfortable being by myself. I think that as a man, it's really, really important that you're able to go out there and grow and pivot and build your own little foundation and your own little family and not depend on the family approval and their opinions. Because if you do that, then obviously you are trying to live up to the expectation of your family versus doing truly what it's meant for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what made you to settle in Dubai? Like you were in Dubai for like near about 1 month.
Yeah. I think Dubai is the place where you come if you want to go big. Dubai has this perception of being fake, of having no soul, of having, little things to do, when in reality, it's all about the environment that you build. So when I came here, I didn't know anybody. Actually, I knew two people. I had a friend who was doing high ticket sales, and I have my friend Adam, who just got here as well at the same time as me. And I was walking around the marina with him, and I said to him, you know what, I'm going to pull up my phone and I'm going to do an ad. And I'm going to invite people to this meetup, and then I use Adam as a credibility because obviously he's a multimillionaire. And then I said, hey, Adam's going to be speaking with me at this event. And obviously by association, because I hang out with all of these guys, I am now have such a big status because I get them together. You don't have to be the biggest dog in the room. In fact, the one that gets the most praise and the most acknowledgement is not the biggest dog in the room. It's the guy that makes the whole deal happen. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when you look into network and you're looking to stand out and build relationships in a new city, it's not so much about the person who's got the most money or the person who drives the Ferrari. It's the person that brings the guy with the Ferrari and brings the public into the same place and makes it happen. Because those two individuals live such opposite lives. The guy on the Ferrari, you guys think that he's got the biggest network, that he hangs out with everybody, but they're actually super lonely. Rich people are very, very lonely. They have a lot of ego issues. So because they have so much money, they don't want to network with people that are below them. But what they don't realize is that people at the same level also don't want to network because they want to be isolated. They want to protect their wealth. So the rich keep getting richer because yes, they know each other, but they don't necessarily have an intimate, deep relationship with each other. They have a very surface level. And that surface level relationship creates loneliness, creates depression, creates anxiety, creates a sense of unfulfillment. Does that make sense? So when you're able to bridge the gap between the rich and just the average guy, you become extremely valuable, So that's what I've been able to do.
Okay. So I want to ask, why Dubai? Why not US? Why not some
Fuck the
place
US.
like Miami or...
Fuck the US. Bunch of dickheads. Everyone in the US, the US is dead. The US is not what it used to be. Dubai is what the US used to be back in the 80s, Everyone's immigrating to Dubai. Why? Taxes, laws, safety. The United States is not safe. People talk about Brazil being unsafe. I never saw anything bad in Brazil. But how many times do you hear about somebody coming to school and mass shooting? So many times in the United States, right? The United States is not what it used to be. Dubai will be, and it's going to be the number one place in the entire world for entrepreneurs and business owners, period. That's what I think. That's why I moved here, because of the opportunity. I agree. I think Americans have a great base around entrepreneurship, and they're very driven, but they're also very lazy, fat, and depressed. It's true. 320 million people. We only talk about the 1%, but how about everybody else? Not my style of people.
Okay, one thing which...
I respect them, just not my style.
Okay, one thing a lot of times, celebrities tell that what they think is that if somebody's coming to them for any network, it's all always looking to rip them off. So they are always coming there for their money. Do you also get that feeling that billionaires generally avoid people who are not their level, that, hey, this guy wants something from me. Why should I network with him?
Billionaires, it's different level than millionaires.
Millionaires also,
Yeah, I think it's all about how you approach the person. A lot of people want to understand how do you say it, when do you say it, and how, what's the angle. But really, it's about the energy. These people will smell it when you don't know who the fuck you are. So first and foremost, don't go networking if you don't know who you are as a person. And this has nothing to do with how much money you make or your goals or all these sort of things. It has everything to do with what do you value as a man? What do you stand for? What are some of the things that if somebody crossed the line, you'd be like, hey, stop. That's against my values. I don't appreciate that. For example, I was doing a video with a girl, very famous girl. She's in Netflix, whatever, right? And I shot a video with her, and I had met a guy a few weeks ago on my network. And then I showed him the video just by coincidence. And he's like, oh, that's my ex-girlfriend. And me, that was against my values. I didn't know that they were ex-boyfriend and ex-girlfriend. I said to him, no worries, I'm not going to post it. And he's like, why? I was like, because it's against my values. It's disrespectful. She got really upset. I don't give a fuck, but I didn't post it.
That's good.
That's what I'm trying to say. You have to be able... You shouldn't compromise on your values for anyone for money for nothing, right? When you are really clear around who the fuck you are then able, as a consequence, to network and build relationships super fast because you know the value that you can provide to somebody. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Okay, another thing is that Dubai has this reputation of fake status, people hire Lamborghinis and,
that's true.
That's true.
That is true.
How do you know whether that guy is a real millionaire or he's just faking it?
Well, for me, it's like I had an event one time and the guy wanted to come and speak, and I asked him, he was saying that he made $200 million. And I said to him, okay, cool, show me your bank account with $10 million. He couldn't show me. It's a lie. If you make $200 million, you're telling me you don't have $10 million cash. You know? Very easy. So most people have issues being upfront, and that is why they have these opinions. This opinion that Dubai is fake, it's only because you're not brave enough to ask the difficult questions. If you see a girl and she shows too much, straight up, are you an escort? Yes, no. No, move on. You see a guy, he's flexing too much. Hey, is it real or not? Move on. Like, just be more blunt about it. People will respect you more. But you know what the problem is? Everybody wants to be liked. Everyone's scared of crossing a fucking line. Everyone's scared of saying the wrong thing to the wrong person. Who gives a fuck? You know? I am living proof that you will get people hating on you. That's okay, you know? But at least you know that that's not your tribe.
We have seen your videos on Instagram where you are, randomly approaching millionaires and people.
Yeah.
How to do something like that in cold DMs? Because a lot of people, have great service, but they want to approach people in cold DM, and most of the times their message goes in the spam, and people generally don't entertain. And another thing, like specifically since I am from India, a lot of times people happen like, oh, this guy is like from India, like, okay, even if it's a great service, like ignore. Like I have personally faced that. So
Yes.
how to do the same in online?
Yeah, I remember you telling me this a long time ago.
Yeah.
Listen, people buy based on perception of value. So you need to be able to, you need to understand first and foremost who you're selling to, and you need to understand who are the people they associate themselves with. And you have to insert yourself, your profile, your digital footprint onto that identity. Does that make sense? So if I'm hanging out with people that are doing really, really well and they have money, then I am also going to insert that belief with the photos, with the videos, everything in one place. Okay. So then we can mimic that and then get that outcome. So, carousel photos, lifestyle photos, that is the stuff that people in my niche like. So that's exactly what I'm going to give them on Instagram. The first thing is the profile photo. It needs to be super clear, professional, inviting. My profile photo is me smiling. I usually don't smile.
You had the laser eyes profile photo 2
Yeah,
years
do you
back.
remember? I had very small, subtle things. I had the laser eyes for a long time. I no longer have that because it associates me with crypto, and crypto's all good and well, but whatever, right? So that's the first thing, right? I used to be big on Facebook, but now I'm on Instagram. So you have to adapt and move with the times. Do you know what I mean? But the biggest thing is you have to understand, who are these people, right? Who do they hang out with? What are the photos that they post? What are the videos that they post? And you have to do exactly that. You have to meet them where they're at, Also, when you're reaching out to people, I think it's bluntly stupid that you say to someone with a big ego, hey, you're getting a low reach. I can help you get a bigger reach. You're deflating the ego. You have to elevate the ego. If somebody has an ego, you don't shut it down. You make it bigger, You want them to like you. Oh, this guy makes me feel nice. But not in a way where you're like, oh, sir, you're so amazing. I love you. I follow you, blah, 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 blah. No, it's fucking gay. No. Just say, hey, Jules, I've seen your content over the last 3 weeks. That content about you going up to that person, the stoic millionaire, was great. I actually have a friend. His name is Henry. And, I did that with him last week, and it works so well. So I want to say from the bottom of my heart, dude, I appreciate the work that you're doing. Keep going. That is different. Don't kiss ass, right? Give a legitimate compliment. Does that answer the question?
Yeah.
Definitely. So to recap, good profile photo, understand the persona that you're serving, become that persona on social media, give them what they're used to seeing. When you market to people, don't market new shit. So what do you think, for example, this is a very clear example. Everybody will know this, right? E-commerce. How many idiots sell dropshipping and make millions of dollars a month selling a course on dropshipping?
Yes.
When we all know it's fucking dead. Why do you think they make money? Why?
Status.
Because the people have been marketed for so many years about dropshipping that they know it so well. But they're hoping and praying that this course is going to change their fucking life. People want hope. That's why they keep buying. Does that make sense? People keep buying because they want hope. They've been conditioned and marketed the same shit over and over. People buy based on association, based on something that makes them feel safe.
So since it has been near about 1 year, you have came from Dubai and you are basically from Australia. Last you were staying in Australia.
Yeah.
How much your life has changed compared to staying back home and coming here?
Oh my God. So much.
Like, what is the drastic change? Because you were also doing well when you were in Australia.
Yeah.
Since we have been in touch for quite some time. I know, like.
Yeah. I've always been consistent with what I made, you know? Like, it's never really fluctuated, or around 50 grand a month US, that sort of range.
No, I'm just asking the amount, like, compared to, like, changes in life, your network, your outlook towards life and everything, like.
For me, the biggest...
Money, I know you can make in Amazon also.
Yeah, I think for me, the biggest change was the network, was access to the people. Because here's what you have to understand. Your business will make you money only to a certain degree. And then your network will have underground opportunities. Oh, there's a new IPO that you can get into early. You know, it's about getting information that not everyone gets access to. You know, that's the biggest thing. The second thing is my health. You know, I'm very into fitness, working out. You know, Dubai, it's the city where you can find anything that you want. You know, you want love, you can find it here. It's going to be difficult, but you can find it. You want fitness, you can find that. You want money, you can find that. You want to just party all the time, you can party all the time. You know, whatever you want, you'll find it here. That's what I like about Dubai. But yeah, my network is the biggest thing that has changed. Okay. And my abundance, like, you know, money it truly is unlimited. I think a lot of people have certain limitations around money, and they believe that money is this thing that only happens to you once you hit a certain level. But I think money is energy. And when you understand that money is energy, then it becomes limitless, and you can actually reach it whenever, however, and whenever you want. You know this now, growing your YouTube channel, right?
Yes.
Like, how long were you thinking about doing this for?
For a long time.
And why did it blow up now?
Oh, I was just experimenting with different things, and some things click on the way, like.
It flowed, right?
Yes.
It just flowed.
Yes.
That's what I was telling to you outside. Like, let things flow. Let it flow, and things will come to you. The more, see, like, if I grab this glass of water and I'm like here sitting on the podcast, this is my fucking glass of water, bro. It belongs to me. Have you watched the movie The Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Have you watched Gollum?
Yes.
What happened to Gollum? He lost the ring. Why did he lose the ring? Because he was so fucking obsessed with the fucking ring, right? He should have been chilled about the ring, and he would have had the ring. You know, back to that theory. You don't own anything. Okay, nothing is truly yours. Even this life is fucking rented, okay? You have to accept that and submit to life and let things fucking flow. What will be yours will always be yours. People always say to me, oh, what do I say to this person? What do I say to this girl? Bro, say whatever the fuck you want. If a girl likes you, she'll like you. Period. You can say the stupidest shit to a girl, but if she likes you, she'll like you. Period.
Okay, another thing, Jules, is like a lot of times, you know, like our parents don't understand internet money.
No, they don't.
So how do you convince your back home? I know you are very close to your mom, and you know, like, people normally take a job, and you know, they don't understand what is online money, internet money.
Yeah, I mean, my parents work online, man. My dad has he had a YouTube automation channel.
Okay, that's great.
Then
you are an exception.
Yeah, I've got my mom into like the digital world as well. They're getting into it slowly. They understand now, way more than what they used to before. But they're very smart people, so they understand the work that I do. Yeah.
Okay. And another thing which is, you know, very famous online, like, this is coming from Andrew Tate, like, escape the matrix.
Yeah.
Like, have you escaped the matrix, do you think?
Yeah. The matrix is when you are stuck in a reality where you have no control over your decisions, right? You have a boss. You have to listen to another man. I don't have to listen to nobody, just to me.
Okay. And since you, like, regularly network with millionaires, I don't say billionaires also some maybe, but millionaires, people who have made it big. I mean, is there any, you know, thing which we as a common people don't know, and which you see frequently, which makes them different from the masses? Is there something?
They don't speak as much as you think. They listen. They observe. I don't speak as much as people think as well. I have to speak for my videos, but I don't speak that much when I'm actually talking to people. You have to. One of the biggest things that most people struggle with is reading the room. Learning how to read the room, and that only comes from a place of experience. You can't teach that, you know. So for example, if you come into a room and somebody has a really bad energy, are you able to read the room to say to that person, hey, can I speak to you outside for a second? And you say, hey, I came into the room and I felt you had a really bad energy. Is everything okay? You know, that's reading the room, because that energy is affecting me and I don't want it to affect me, so I have to address it now. You need to be able to read the room. Sometimes people leave stupid comments on my reels and I'm like, read the fucking play. Read the play. People don't get it. You need to be able to see between the lines in order for you to be exceptional at anything that you do. Because social skills, it's not just, you know, about meeting people, it's sales. Networking is sales. People think that they follow me because I'm a good networker. They follow me because I'm good at sales. You know, I closed you when you had no money.
Yeah.
Right? How much you pay me back then? $5,000.
Yes.
Yeah. You were like traveling, you're doing all this thing, and you guys were trying to get the money together. I remember we're in a group chat like, hey, 2 days, we have the money now, we can do it. You know? How much money have you made since then?
I can't remember. Like, it has been 2-3 years.
Fair amount, I guess. Yeah. Things change when you take action. You know, you can't go out there and, you know, that's why I respect you a lot, because I know the background that you came with. So for you, that must have been a lot of money then, you know. But a lot of people have these dreams and these desires and they tell their friends, I want to be this, I want to do that. But when it comes to investing, they shit themselves. People are happy, right? Listen to this. People are super happy paying $500 on a night out to forget about their problems instead of spending $500 to get rid of them for life. Do you understand how profound that is? Like, people are stuck on this never-ending cycle of like forgetting about the problems instead of actually fixing them. Why? Because they have no guidance. They've got trauma like most of us, right? And they're scared. But if you never take the leap of faith, then nothing changes.
Okay, Jules, Nick, you also have a course now which you are selling online. Right?
Yeah, I have a program, yeah.
Yeah, you have a program. And a lot of time there are internet trolls. They troll every other course creator. That he's a scam, he's a fake, and there are channels like Coffeezilla and things like that. What do you think about this culture where you troll course creators? I know that everybody can't get success, but you need to apply the things. I mean, so what do you think about this online trolling culture of?
I think it's so new that people just don't understand that. I think people don't understand the following is, what got you from point A is not going to get you to point B. So the way that the internet works for anyone that wants to truly understand is when you're a complete beginner, you want to find a model that will print you money and will allow you to make a certain amount of money that allows you to quit your job and then do that full time. Okay. For example, I'm going to give you a random example, PR, right? We got into this world. I made all my money selling PR articles, getting entrepreneurs featured on the press, TV, podcast, right? Yeah. We made all our money doing this, right? But then if I want to get to 100,000, 200, 300, 400, $1 million in 1 month, then it makes sense that I sell my knowledge, okay? So there's 3 steps. You find the mechanism that makes you the money, you become an expert, and then you sell that knowledge. And people are like, well, if you're so good at it, why do you sell a course? Yes. For that same fucking reason, you stupid monkey. Because what got me from point A is not going to get me to point B, right? I've got bigger goals. You are the one that wants to get to 10K a month. I make 10K a day. You know what I mean? So that is the difference. So people love to compare themselves. Iman Gadzhi, right? Oh, course seller. I'm like, Iman just literally did exactly what I explained. He started an agency, got results. Maybe he didn't do it for that long. Fair enough, whatever. Sold a course, became a multimillionaire doing that. Boom. He's an expert marketer. The 2 skills that you guys have to master if you want to make money online is marketing and sales. Period. No matter what you do. Drop shipping, affiliate marketing, remote close, anything. You have to be very good at marketing and very good at sales. Without those 2 skills, you just suck. How many people in the program got access to my plugs, to my network?
A lot of people.
And some of them...
everybody, basically.
Yeah. No, but some of them made no money. Why? Because they suck at sales and suck at marketing. Right? It's that simple. Yeah. No other way around it. And most people, the problem, again, the biggest problem is for beginners is they get into this world and they fail to understand that the most important thing they can do is build a network. Imagine if you came onto this world and you build a network of 1,000 successful people where you just gave them free exposure. 1,000 without saying anything, right? And then 3 months into it, you do an offer. Boom. You sell out. The money that you didn't make in 3 months, you made it in 1 month for the whole year. That is the shift on mindset from a beginner. Instead of thinking, how can I get this now? No, I'm going to wait a little bit, 3 months, and then I'm going to make all the money that I didn't make in those 3 months. Boom.
So you are saying that lack of patience is...
Lack of patience is a huge thing. Lack of patience. Dude, I paid Iman Gadzi $18,000 for one fucking call. I got nothing out of it.
I mean, I also remember you also paid like 5 to 6K to West Watson.
Yeah, I got one thing. Like, here's the thing. So every single thing that happens to you, right? It's a lesson. There's no failure. Failure is not real. It's only real if you say, okay, I quit, bro. Like rejection. Rejection is also not real. It's a state of mind. Rejection is an automatic disqualifier. So anyone that's not meant to be in your life, right, by getting automatically rejected, they're just not meant to be in your life, bro. You keep moving forward, If I was afraid of rejection, I wouldn't do what I do today. I wouldn't be here with you. I wouldn't have what I have today. Rejection's not real. You need to stop thinking that.
Can you share some amount of insights like what you had with the call with Iman Gadzhi, like for our subscribers for free? I mean, I know that it's a paid call.
Yeah, of course.
To share.
Yeah, I paid $18,000 for his AFL. Yeah.
No, what is the insights you get? Like anything groundbreaking?
The biggest thing that he taught me is you have to do more live events. That's it. Like that is out of the whole 30-minute call that we had, it was do live events.
That's what you paid 18K for?
Yeah, pretty much. But hey, listen, like I don't blame him. I needed a shift of perspective, and I always say this: you can't sell high ticket if you can't pay high ticket. I paid $18,000 in full.
Nice one.
US.
Nice one.
Right?
Nice.
Why? Because congruency at the highest level. Don't come to me saying you want to charge 3, 5, 10, 15K and you can't even fucking put 3 or 5K down. Doesn't make any sense. Congruency at the highest level. Biggest thing.
Okay, one thing about online money, since we both are into the online field, there is a lot of ups and downs. Like some month you can make 100K, then there are months you can make 0 or 5K, you never know. So how do you deal with the anxiety? Like there is no fixed recurring income like an offline business that, okay, I'm sure that I will minimum at least get this. There is a lot of ups and downs, trends are changing, things are changing.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that?
With the uncertainty, you have to live in it. There's no such a thing as certainty in this business or any business. If you're a business owner, you need to learn to live with the uncertainty. And that only comes with experience, bro. Yes, you're going to have some fucking crazy months, but you have to be smart enough to not go super crazy as well when you have a crazy month to, endure the months that are not going to be that good. That's how I deal with it. But it doesn't happen as much anymore. So, yeah. But it's a period that you have to go. You have to learn how to deal with that. That is the difference between being an employee and having your business. You have to learn how to deal with your emotions. If you are sporadic and you're an emotional person, then you're not going to last very long, my friend, at all. Because you need to have some fucking thick skin on this game. Very thick skin. This is not like having a job. When you have a job, you take orders. You know what time you have to show up. When you've got your own thing, yes, you're on your own schedule, but that also means that the freedom that you have, you need to be able to manage it correctly, So it's a double-edged sword.
Okay, Jules, like you said, a lot of people who take these courses, they don't apply them because they don't have the patience, they lack the patience, stuff like that. But a lot of your audience also, I guess, are Gen Z generation, 18, 20, 22-year-old, they're very high in testosterone and dopamine, and they're like taking one course this month, second course next month, and they can't wait. They're very impatient in nature. And particularly in online scene, I mean, a huge amount of this, teenagers or Gen Z, you can say, these guys are there. I mean, you are near about 30, something like that, I guess.
Yeah, 29, yeah.
29, 30. So a lot of these young kids are coming and they don't have the patience. So how to deal with them? Like they can buy the course, but then they will troll you also.
I mean,
I don't know if you have faced this problem or not.
Nah, not really. But to somebody that's young, you guys have to understand that the biggest asset that you have is time. It's not money, right? So if you've got time, then what is the difference between going all crazy for a month versus going consistently for the next 12 months, building, again, the biggest thing that most people fail to do is building a network. I've got a network. If I've got an issue, I just call somebody and it's sorted, right? As a young person, if you're getting into the make money online industry, build a network, and the money will come. You have to be patient. Give yourself 12 months to make it work. I know a guy that struggled for 7 years, man. Made $0 for 7 years, and then on the 8th, $2 million. Boom. Just like that. So you need to endure because everyone's journey is completely different. There's a verse in the Bible, it's my favorite, that says, you must endure because God will give you what He's promised you when you're ready for it. It's about God's timing, not your timing.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So it's like you only share your success stories that I have made this, I have made that. Were there any like dark phases in your life where you have lost a lot of money or were you lonely and you couldn't figure out how to do things and you really came up? I mean, like our audience, I mean, my subscribers obviously would love to have a story like, because they only see success, success, success. They see that you have like, all figured out.
Yeah, I mean, I've been evicted from my house. I've lost very close friends, girlfriends. I've been in very toxic relationships. I lost all my money at some point. I was living in the Gold Coast, and this is when I was getting started with my digital journey. And I was
this was when back in 2021,
2021, and when
you were having the podcast.
I had the podcast agency where I would build it for people and manage it, and then I was slowly transitioning into PR. And I was doing like $5,000 a month. No, 3,000 US, 3,500 US a month. It was good. Some months I would do 5, then 7, but it was inconsistent. So I was trying to find something else, and I was in this period where I was like, I wanted to scale, I wanted to do bigger things because I saw people around me making so much money, and I was getting so impatient. And I was living in this mansion in a share accommodation in Australia, and this girl, she had a boyfriend, and this guy was really nice. We knew each other for like a month and a half or 2 months or something like that. And then he said, hey, do you want to come to this festival with us, music festival? I said, like, yeah, for sure, I'm down. And he's like, I sell ecstasy on the side, pills. And I'm like,
are they legal?
No, they're not. They're legal. So ecstasy, I was like, oh, that's really cool. He's like, if you give me $5,000, I will give you 10,000 back in 2 days. And I knew this guy, so we had a relationship. He's like, I always do it. There's no problem. Nothing's going to happen. And, when you are making 3, 5, you spend that on living expenses. So I think the most that I had on my bank account was like 5, really, at that point. So it was all the money that I had. And I'm like, well, I'm going to double the money in 2 days. and
you didn't ask, like, how would you double? Like, what's the
deal? Of course, by selling it. He will be selling the drugs, right? And he would make my profit. So he would buy the drugs with my money and then double it. So then I thought, okay, well, cool. I'm going to do this thing. And then I remember going to a party the night before, and, he's like, try the product. And I tried it, and, I got a little bit high. And I'm like, oh, this is really good shit, I was at a penthouse party, whatever. Then the next day, we were meant to go to this festival, and then, I started driving the car, and it was him and another bunch of boys, and these are big roided, like big boys, like fucking tattoos and big boys, right, on steroids. And I'm like skinny dude, I'm driving the car, and then I go and put gasoline in the car, and he gets off to buy the drugs. And then, I put gasoline, I get on the car, and then I see him running towards me, and he's like, go, 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 go. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, I hit the drug dealer, stole the drugs, and never paid him. Let's go.
Oh, shit.
So then I start driving, and then I see this big dude, like 2 meters tall, fat, screaming at me. He gets on his car and starts chasing me down the highway. He's chasing me. I'm driving like a maniac.
So that's like a crime scene.
Yeah, like a crime scene, yeah. And then I pull on the side of the road, and then everyone gets out, and then boom, they start fighting with him on the middle of a suburban street, like fighting, hit him.
And you were safe?
No, I was in the car. I'm like, I'm not fucking getting involved in this shit. And then after the guy got bashed, he got in the car and crashed into me.
Oh.
And then I flipped over with the car.
Wow.
And then because the impact was so strong, he actually drove inside of a house. Right? It's like a movie. He drove inside of a house, pulled out, and then went home. And then I got out of the car, the police came, and they fined me $2,000 because I was driving a car that was not registered.
Oh,
yeah, I didn't even know. I didn't know. Okay, whatever. So anyway, long story short, we got a rental car and went to the festival anyway. Okay. Now, what I didn't say is that my housemate at the time found out that I was doing this, and he was a little bit skeptical about me. He didn't trust me. And he thought that I was selling drugs now, which I was not, right? And he had all my clothes, to get changed. It was a 3-day festival. I was meant to sleep at the festival. Anyway, I get there at the festival with all these guys, and I'm like, fuck, I'm going to leave these guys. This was crazy. And I go and I see my housemate at the party going, he sees me, his face changes. He's like, oh, you're selling drugs now. He changed on me. Like, he was the most loving, caring guy. We were like this. He's like, you're a piece of shit. You're selling drugs now. You scumbag. blah, blah, blah. And like, he went on this massive trip. I'm like, fuck, he was in so many drugs. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm like, where's my bag? He's like, I don't want to give you your fucking bag. I'm like, whatever. So I went walking and I'm like, I'm going to look at him later, okay? Anyway, he was so high that he took the car and left back home when he was meant to stay there. He took all my shit with him. So I was left at this festival with no clothes, nothing to get changed. I'm like, what am I going to do now? I'm with these drug dealers. I don't want to stay with them. So then, you know, I bump into a girl.
And you don't have any money also?
Nothing, just my phone. And then I bump into a girl that I met at the party. And I'm like, hey. And she's like, hey. I explained to her the situation. She's like, cool, you can stay with me for 3 days. So I stayed with her for 3 days. And then I came back home. And not only I did lose all my money, the guy obviously never paid me back. He ghosted. He blocked me everywhere. But also, I got kicked out of my house.
Why?
Because the guy started telling the homeowner that I was selling drugs.
Drugs. Okay.
And I at that point, man, I loved my life then. You know, it was like sunny, I had a good network, and I was getting started, I was getting traction, and I had to go back and live with my parents. You know, I'm like, fuck, this is deep. Like, that was one of the lowest points in my life, you know. I remember like just having no one around me, like no one. Like friends that I thought that would be friends that will support me, none of them were there. So I've been very used to being by myself. I don't really trust people that much. I need to see the actions first, you know. That was one situation that cut me deep. That was bad. Another one as well where I remember when I was, you know, doing like, you know, trying to make money online just took me through so many ups and downs. You know, I remember dating this girl. She was a stripper. Stupid, so stupid. Like man, like dating this girl. She was a stripper. She was a very nice, sweet girl, and I was trying to save her because she was stuck in this dilemma of doing drugs and stripping and whatever. And there was a part of me that liked her being a stripper because I'm like, I have a girlfriend stripper. So toxic, you know. So I remember because I was just so caught up on the rush, on the toxicity. Like I said to her, oh, let's go to this house party. I was, you know, living in this house. I'm like, we're doing a house party. She comes, and then I don't know why. Like I don't know why I thought that she'd do something different, right? And I go to her, oh yeah, like if you wanna have sex with anyone here, you can. But I said it because I'm like, she's not that stupid. Like it's a test. I want to see. And then boom, she has sex with the guy that I knew. And then I'm like, oh, you fucking bitch. Like I was thinking, you're so stupid. Oh my God, you're so stupid. Like, but then guess what? I forgave her.
Oh.
You know, that's even more stupid. And, you know, that's just one of the stories. And then with her, it was back and forth. You know, she left her boyfriend for me. And the boyfriend was trying to get her back. And it was just a bunch of bullshit. I remember one time we broke up, and then I went to get my shit from her house. There was a guy, I came in and boom, hit him in the face. You know, poor kid, he started crying. He was 21, he's a little baby, you know, I was like 24 or something, whatever. But, you know, so many things leading up to this situation that broke me down, took me up, broke me down, took me up, broke me down, took me up, until this point now, you know. Girlfriends that never believed in me, girlfriends that, you know, because everyone wants to be at the top. Everyone wants to be with you when you're at the top.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Which now you are.
Everyone wants to be with you when you're the guy. But you guys need to understand this. This is normal. This is just how psychology goes. Everyone wants to be with you when you're stable, when you have your shit together. Okay? Everyone wants to do that. But no one has seen the scars and the shit that you've had to go through to become that person. You know? Yes, you know, all of that helped me to deal with my emotions, but fuck, man, it was difficult.
And during that time also, I think you had a podcast with Iman Gadzhi.
Yeah.
Back in 2021, where you were not so famous and not making much money.
Yeah,
how did that story happen? Like, Iman was such a high-profile guy, and you were like nothing, I mean, in front. Like, how did it happen?
I just reached out to him, to Grant Cardone. I reached out to all of these guys, and they replied. Because here's the thing. Everyone loves free publicity. And it goes back to my point. You have to be in the same level of association. Even the stuff that I post, very similar to what he posts on his feed. Okay. So he would immediately see a point of association with me. Oh, this guy understands me. This guy, he wouldn't even consciously realize this. None of these guys do. None of these guys realize that what I'm explaining, this just happens consciously, and it happens in 1 millisecond, right? So they see, oh, this guy is like me. I'm going to give him a shot, you know? So I just don't care that much. I just say hello to everybody. I don't pedestalize. I don't admire any men. I don't admire men. I respect. Don't admire anybody. You have to respect their work, but I don't. It's gay if you admire a man. I think it's very gay if you admire a man. Yeah, if you're a fanboy, it's very gay. Just respect the work that they've done, but that's it. You don't have to admire anybody. Just admire God. That's it. Because without God, like, what are you? Nothing.
But men normally admire other men. Like, men are leaders and, like followers admire them. I mean,
No.
but you're saying it's gay.
It's very fucking gay, yeah. Very fucking gay. You're submitting to another man. You're looking up to a man on your knees like this. Why?
But that's how leaders are made, no? Like,
No, it's respect. You can respect. Respect and admiration is different. You understand what respect is? Respect is looking someone in the eye and saying, I respect your work. Thank you for what you've done. Admiration is be like, oh, you're so cool. I love what you've done. That time that you did that, oh my God, like, that was so cool. It's a feminine trait. It's a feminine trait. Respect, don't admire. Different thing.
but like,
And that's how you hold your status too. You know?
But like the masses, like the 99% admire the 1% men and try to talk like them, try to walk like them, follow their fashion or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's why they're part of the 99% and they'll stay there. That's why they're part of the 99 and they'll stay there.
So don't follow anybody's style. Have your own.
No, you can follow, but don't admire them. Just respect their work. I respect Andrew Tate. I don't admire him. By all means, no. I respect everything that he stands for, what he says, but I don't admire him. Why would I admire him? He's just another man. He's not a god. I admire God. I admire the strength that he gives me. I admire the opportunities that he gives me. That is the only force I will ever submit to. A man who does not submit to God submits to himself. And if he submits to himself, he's submitted to the devil.
That's a nice one.
That's true.
So what are the top 3 people in the online world you admire?
I don't admire anybody. I told you. I respect.
Respect.
Tony Robbins is one of them. Tony Robbins is the one that has the most credibility, has been doing it the longest.
Yes, for 40 more years or something like that.
Tony Robbins, I like him a lot. That's it.
Only Tony Robbins?
Yeah.
Iman Gadzhi?
No, I respect him. I respect him, but I don't.
Wes Watson?
No. They're cool cats, but again, like Tony Robbins has the most history, most results in the info product space, and he's been doing it the longest. So, props to Tony Robbins.
And
I respect him.
Anybody apart from the online space you respect?
I mean, there are so many, but in terms of like you're asking me a specific question around who I truly respect.
Okay, that's Tony Robbins.
Yeah, that's Tony Robbins. Yeah.
Okay, another thing like Jules, like suppose if you were like 18 years right now, what would you do, like which you hadn't done when you were 18?
I would start a podcast like this, and I would interview as many people as I could, the ones that I wanted to sell them something in the future. I'll build a network. I would focus the first year on only building a network and then selling them something the year after. That's how I would do it.
Okay. So you are saying that starting a podcast is the easiest way to...
It's the easiest hack to build a network because you're giving free publicity. You said, hey, come to my podcast. I said, what? Straight away. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Boom. Because people love talking about themselves. They do.
Yeah.
Give them the platform and boom, finito.
But then you had also started a podcast, and I remember from one of the podcasts you had said you had like 50 podcasts done in 1 month or something like that.
Yeah, 50 episodes in 30 days.
30 days. Then why did you stop that if you are getting like full throttle there?
Oh, dude, because at some point, like, it becomes exhausting. I did 50 in 30 days.
No, but you can do 50 in 60 days also, and you could have continued that thing.
Yeah, I could have, most certainly. But then I wanted to focus purely on my business. You asked me about what I would do if I was 18. 18 means that you have a lot of time. And at 18, I had a lot of time to do things like this, but I didn't do it. I should have done it. You can't change the past. You can only change the future.
What are your future plans in Dubai, or what is the next 1-2 years you are looking forward to?
I want to public speak. I want to get more into public speaking. I want to reach the masses with my message around, not just networking, sales, leadership, building your values as a man. I think that's where I belong. I belong on stage, speaking on live stage. I think that's the next big move for me over the next 3 years. As to in Dubai, I'll be in Dubai 9 months out of the year, and then outside of that, just travel because it's getting so hot. Like today, right? 40 degrees.
Yeah,
today.
it's very hot.
So hot, man. Yeah.
So your base will be Dubai, but you will be traveling around the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, for 3 months. Yeah.
So in public speaking, you want to go to the, like the alpha male thing, which Andrew Tate or Wes Watson are. They're
Nah.
What in
There is a fine balance within masculinity. What do you think masculinity is?
taking responsibilities, taking leadership.
Okay. What else?
That's what I think. I mean, a man is responsible,
Mm-hmm.
who is like protect and provide.
Okay. How about if I said to you, do you think a masculine man needs to be in touch with his feminine side?
Yeah, but he needs to be in touch with his emotions.
Right. How do you do that?
I mean, you need to understand your emotions. Don't always need to be tough. So I'll here say one thing. Like in back home in India, like it's always said that guys shouldn't cry, boys shouldn't cry. Like when we were a child, if we like get hurt or somebody says bad thing to us, they say, "Hey, why are you crying? Crying is for girls. Boys don't cry." So a lot of times, what happens? Our emotions are suppressed under us.
Yeah.
And what happens? These men then become grown-ups and then they become violent because their entire life they have like suppressed their emotions.
Yes. You can cry by yourself. No problem. You can cry in your shower. You can cry with your brothers.
Yes.
You can cry with your brothers. I don't think you should, for example, as a man, it's really important to have a fine balance between your feminine, because when you're in touch a little bit with your feminine side, you're able to feel things. You're able to read between the lines. The problem with most people and why they can never read the play is because they don't feel things. You need to be able to pick up on energy. So that's really important, right? You need to be able to be in touch with a little bit of that side too, because if you're super, super stoic and you're like a robot, like no woman wants to be with a guy like that. A woman wants to feel safe. She wants to feel understood. She wants you to grab her like super randomly and give her a kiss and say, "Hey, I love you. I miss you." And then that's it. That's, being in touch, being able to read the play, right? Now, the other side of it too, and the most important one is learning your life rules. And this is something I recently started speaking about. So when you grow up, what do your mum say when she goes, "Oh, don't cross the road"?
Yeah.
Right? That's a rule. When you're growing up, your parents give you rules, things that you have to obey and follow. But when you're an adult, no one tells you about your rules. So it's really important that you understand your 10 life rules and understand what you stand for and what you don't stand for. I read them every morning and I journal every morning and I cross-reference those things to understand, am I living to my rules? Am I living up to that expectations? So for example, one of them is I never lose my frame. As a man, I don't want to lose my frame. So I have to remind myself, hey, if I write down, hey, I was feeling emotional, I'm like, is that who I am? No. Okay, so I'm not going to do it again. So I'm constantly reflecting on the things that I have to improve or the things that I have to let go. So journaling it's been a massive life hack for me. Huge.
Journaling.
Yeah, huge life hack for me. Huge.
Some more other life hacks like which helped you a lot?
The gym, every day the gym. Every day the gym is really important for me. But the biggest one is journaling. It's reflecting on your thoughts. It's putting your thoughts on paper, and reading them out loud and understanding what happened. What was I thinking the day before, Because if you don't understand yourself, how can other people understand you? It's very complicated. Humans are very complicated human beings, Very, very complicated.
So, currently there is an internet trend when one side there are like alpha males who call themselves so-called alpha, and one side there are like, they say, oh, these are beta guys,
Yeah,
the internet
but that's marketing. That's just marketing. That's marketing. Okay. It's to get views. I think a man that calls himself a masculine man, it's not a masculine man. I never call myself that.
And they a lot of times say shit things about women to become themselves masculine.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of men say recently, what can women provide for me? Like what value does a woman bring to my life? And the value that a woman gives you is peace, is loyalty, is support, is care, it's love. These are very important emotions that you need in order to have a prosperous life. A lot of men that doubt the value of a woman in their life is men who have been traumatized by women who have also been traumatized, because hurt people.
That's nice. Hurt people.
Hurt people, So I think women are extremely important. You just need to learn how to vet them.
Okay, regarding like the overall scene of Dubai, if we come back, since you are like a free promoter of Dubai, like, hey, come to Dubai,
Come to Dubai, come to Dubai.
And that is also one of the reasons why I am here.
Good, I'm happy.
What are the things you have seen differently from US or, Australia, which Dubai is, apart from the networking part, like overall the online scene, which is, very different from the rest of the world?
In terms of what specifically?
Like in terms of money making or growth opportunities or...
Oh, people are very open here to do business transactions.
They are not so much back in...
No, very, very closed off. You need to come recommended. Here you don't have to be recommended, but there's a lot of scams too. There's a lot of scams that happen here.
Scams like?
No, crypto trading, passive income claims, things like this. But you have to be very cautious. Again, you have to be able to read the play. You need to be able to ask the right questions to understand whether this person is legitimate, and always vet them. Always vet them. Always vet them. With other people that you may know, or ask them, hey, like, who else have you worked with? Can I keep in touch with them and see how that experience was?
Okay.
Yeah.
But then scams are all around the world. Scams happen in US also.
Yeah, they happen all around the world, but that's the fame that Dubai has also,
Okay.
In India, there's a few scams too.
Yeah, there happen scams. Scams happen all over the world.
Yeah, they do happen all over the world. And you can never avoid them. It's just the nature of the human being.
Okay. And in terms of networking, like, what is your network mostly? Is it more of a Western audience or the Emirati population, or mix and match of people around the world, or like what kind of
all
network?
over the world? All over the world. The Emiratis are difficult to get into, but they're not impossible. The Emiratis are very caring people, They want to show you Dubai, the old Dubai. They want to show you the history of this place. Emirati people are very caring people, are very warm. It takes a little bit of time to build a relationship with them, but once you've got the relationship with them, then you're in, People are scared of saying hello to Emiratis. I think Emiratis are great.
They think they are oil-rich barons who entertain them, like they have filthy money and don't.
Yeah,
entertain.
correct. Yeah, absolutely. But I love Emiratis. I think they're very respectful people. They have very good values, very, very good values.
And what is the overall entrepreneur scene like? Is it mix and match of Emirati and Western audience?
Yeah, a mix of both. Yeah.
And you have been to Bali also for how many times? 2-3 times maybe?
No, I've been to Bali. I lived in Bali for 4 months.
4 months.
Yeah, in 2022.
Yeah, since we know each other for a long time.
It's a long time, yeah.
Like a lot of digital nomads and these kind of people also stay in Bali. So what's different between Bali and Dubai? Because Bali has a very good weather. Bali is better than Dubai. Let's be honest. I mean, in terms of the nature, trees and the overall.
Look, Bali's a very feminine place.
Feminine place?
Very, very feminine place. It has a lot of feminine energy. It's a very relaxed, very with the flow place. Dubai is aggressive, man. Dubai, think about being thrown in the ocean with a bunch of sharks that if you don't look where you're going, they'll just bite you. That's Dubai. And then Bali is just like a turtle. Like you're a turtle, like swimming in the water, just going. That's Bali, I think it's good for both. I mean, I don't mind making the switch to Bali, every 2 months or whatever, because it allows you to relax and it allows you to... The one thing that I like about Bali is I like the food. There's so much variety with food. Nature, as you mentioned. You can be on a bike all the time. I love riding a bike. The weather is nice. I don't like the insects of Bali. Not a big fan of...
But I guess Australia has bigger insects, I guess.
Yeah, no, but Bali is just annoying with the mosquitoes and everything. But overall, it's nice. It's just a very passive, relaxing place that I would only go for a little bit of time instead of being there all the time.
Okay, Jules, since we don't have much time left now.
Yeah, of course.
So I want to ask, a lot of entrepreneurs, after they start earning money online, they move into product-based business, they have their own Saas or, something like that. Are you planning something like that in the future?
Yeah.
You want to have your own Saas?
Yeah, we're already working on that, but I'm not ready to disclose it yet. But it will be predominantly for info product. Info products, yeah.
Okay. And would you be having an info product based on a funnel-based approach, where you have multiple layers of the same product, or will it be only one single product?
One single product.
It would not be a funnel approach where you have everything from $5 to $5,000 and then...
Yeah, that's a low-ticket, more mass-market one. But the stuff that we're going to do is going to be predominantly for people that sell online courses.
So you will be helping online course sellers?
Yeah, with the Saas in the future?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll tell you about it off camera. It'll be good.
Yeah. Very excited to learn. Okay, and like you have talked a lot about connecting with men, like millennials.
Yeah.
What about connecting with women, connecting with hot girls?
Yeah.
Because you have said once like Dubai is a very lonely place. Obviously, everybody wants a partner or somebody to relax or to go in the weekends. Like how to connect with girls you like, or like how to do? Because you're a networking wizard. It's not only limited to men.
Just say hi. Here's the thing. Women can pick up on energy. If you have a very unstable energy and you're picking up women just to have sex with them, they're going to feel that and you're going to face a lot of rejection.
Okay.
Again, it goes back to my point. You need to be able to read the play, Just approach a woman saying hello how you would say hello to a man. Hey, how you going? What are you doing here? That's awesome. What's your name? Where are you from? Cool. I got to go, but what's your Instagram? Let's catch up at some point. Detached. Quick. You don't have to go for the kill the first time. This is the problem. You go for the kill the first time, bro. You kill your chances. If you go to a nightclub, right? You're not going to go up to a girl and be like, hey, do you want to fuck? No. It's rude. It's disrespectful. It's out of touch. There is no social awareness. Quick hello, introduction, where you from, chit chat, blah, blah, blah. Hey, what's your thing? Let's hang out after.
Can you find genuine love in Dubai? Because people are very materialistic and all they care about is money. I mean,
I don't know. I can't tell you. I can't answer that. But finding love in Dubai can be challenging, but nevertheless, it's not impossible.
And can you build like long-term networks from Dubai? Because like everybody has their home country. They can any day move out to their home country and
with social media, yes. Like people fail to understand this. Instagram is the biggest networking social media app in the world. You have to make sure that you pay attention to your social media account. It's so paramount. I only make money online because I have really good social media accounts. That's it. No other reason.
No, I'm saying on the trust part. Like suppose if you are in the US and okay, this guy will be staying in US, it's his home country. He will not run away from the US.
Yeah.
But in Dubai, he can like anytime go back to his home country. He may not be there. Like he can make tall promises and one day he's like gone due to some reason or the other.
I don't care. Let them go. More people come. I just don't care. I'm not attached to anything or anyone because, again, nothing belongs to you. These people don't belong to you. My network doesn't belong to me. Even my Instagram account doesn't belong to me. It belongs to Instagram. Nothing is really yours. So when you understand that concept, you stop caring that much and you just operate from a place of giving with care instead of needing. Stop needing. Just give.
And when are we getting the next sessions of DXB Network?
On Thursday, actually, this week.
Oh, we are doing it?
Yeah.
But it has not been there for quite some time. I think 1-2 months, I think.
It's been 3 weeks that we haven't done an event. But we're going to do one this week, coming up.
Okay, nice. And what are your biggest, takeaways from the DXB network? Like, what had you planned? Have you been successful in your plan, or like you have got more than what you have thought about? Like, what was your overall experience?
About throwing the events, the local events?
DXB network which you run.
The biggest lesson is do without planning. And
do without planning?
Do without planning, dude. Like, just launch the fucking thing. Just launch the fucking thing. Everyone spends too much time planning when they don't even know if it's going to work out, You know how many people have come to Dubai and they've tried to do what I do? They failed. Because they plan too much. They care too much. I operate from a place I'm like, whatever. If it happens, happens. I don't care. I'm not attached. And because I'm not attached, it's like it has already happened in my reality. So it just keeps happening for me.
But then you also have spent a quite bit amount of money booking the venue and...
No, I don't spend any money with the venue. The venue, we have a negotiation where we have a small fee for the people that come.
Okay.
They pay it. They get in. They get some drinks. But I don't make any money from the event. That's purely for networking purposes for me. Nothing else.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You can go up to a venue that doesn't generate revenue in a certain day and say, hey, this day I will bring you people guaranteed. In exchange, you charge an entry price. I make no money from it. Okay. And then we go like that. Boom. Test it.
I will have your Instagram link in the description section.
Yeah, for sure.
Of my video.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Any parting notes? Like anybody who wants to come to Dubai is like fearful, like, hey, I don't know if I will get scammed there, or I don't know like what is the energy of that place. A lot of negative stories and want to make it big here, but are very anxious? Like because you are the biggest promoter of Dubai. I mean, if I had been the Emirates government, I would have sponsored you as a spokesperson for the city.
The only way to earn confidence is by trusting yourself. Trust yourself more. Stop asking for opinions. Stop asking for people's opinions that don't have your experience, your life, your outlook. Just fucking do it. That's it. sounds lame, but it's the truth. Like, you need to trust yourself in order to do the things that you say that you want to do.
Great. So, Jules, it was a nice podcast. Hope to
Good.
do one again.
Awesome. I appreciate you
this is the
having
first of the many great podcasts.
First of many, bro. I'm excited to come back on and share some juice.
Yeah.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. Bye.